Oh, Paleolithic Digger here, aka the Dirt Farmer. Figured I'd sit and just have a little conversation with y'all. And by the way, hope all's well in YouTube land and beyond. I'm gonna go over a few rocks, a few pointers of how I've become the second person in North America to figure out these totems. So I'm gonna pass what the things that I do and use. Maybe it'll help somebody else out there be able to understand how these put together to form these totems. Most of the time, and I'm gonna move the camera a little closer. Okay, it might be a little too close, but we'll get a little closer here again. Okay. So we'll go over some rocks. I'm not gonna go over really any of the totems I have sitting here. I didn't mean to hit there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 totems sitting on the shelf now. All original totems. And when I say original totems, I meant piece for piece original totems. So most of the time, how do I say it? Okay, now in a creek, it's going to be impossible to put a totem back together. You find pieces of totems. Every piece that's found that has effigies on them, or if I look at it and I could tell you that I'm positive that that's a locking point on that piece. You know, it'll still have effigies, but I can see the locking points. I'm used to them enough that I understand how the totems kind of lock together and are put together. What type ledges they use. There's certain shapes or cutouts on the rock that I know how that piece is positioned. Now, a body piece, or let's say a base to a totem, can end up being a body piece, or it can end up being a headpiece. Now, for the most part, okay, I have my own house, my own property. It is 2 miles straight up the road. Same road. I'm about 2 miles up the road, and as the crow flies, hell, I ain't put shit 1,000 yards. But anyways, beside the point. So I'm a good walk from my property. Now I believe where my property is where a main encampment was. When I say a main encampment, let me see, this area right here, I could circle easily a 20-mile radius circle, right, from my house. And from my house, I can walk probably every bit of that 20-mile radius, and it'll have effigies, it'll have totems, it'll have pretty much anything. So anyways, let's see, where was I going with this? So I'm going to just go over a couple rocks and explain ghost face a little bit to you, outside profiles, and different things about just a single rock. I have a bunch of single effigies You know, I don't have the other pieces to this totem. This effigy, this tool, and I'll explain here about it being a tool, would have had 2, 3, 4 other pieces with it. Okay, I'll jump now. I'm one that jumps like crazy, so bear with me. I'm gonna step back for a second because I was trying to explain the number of pieces to a totem. So all these that I'm finding here are 3-piece totems. I'm 95% positive on that. Okay, the ones, if you go back to when I first started the channel and check out my very first totem that I found and put together, my second one, my third one, I think there was about, I don't know, 6, maybe 4 to 6 totems, original totems that I've pieced back together. And the totems at my house, the majority of them are more than 3-piece totem. I think my largest totem that I have, it consists of a base. Well, I can't say that because the base then can turn into any other part of that totem. And another part of that totem now becomes the base. Remember, I said, once you figure out a totem, an original totem, and you've put it, this base piece, you've put it in 4 or 5 different positions by switching the body and the head, right? At that point, then you could take that base and turn that base into a body. Say, turn the head into the base now, okay? The body becomes the head. Now you can change that position of the totem. You could change that into, I don't know, 4 or 5 different configurations. The body can flip upside down. The body can flip sideways. The head could flip upside down. The head could flip 360 degrees. The head can go horizontal, vertical, flat, but you'll find the locking points on each one of these to lock that totem into place, in a perfect place. And then when you go and study that totem, now these effigies, right? So effigies, here's a face, profile face on this side, a mammoth, right? That's the full picture. But then if we get in close, I gotta figure out, if we get in close, I could start to show you ghost faces or art or symbols, different things within the stone, right? I hate trying to do this. I see the images on there, and a lot of times I know I'm bringing them up, but it messes with my mind. I like put the piece in front of my eyes, and anyways, so okay, so this piece, I do not have the other pieces to it. But I know that this piece, by examining and looking at, one, it's a tool. See how that just fit in my hand? And if you see right here, it's pretty mammoth. If you see right here, there's a groove that my finger fits in. Right there. The finger just lays right in there, right? To apply pressure. Okay? This little cutout, my thumb fits in there. So you pinch this rock. And now what we've got is we've got a scraper or a polisher. And I'd say a polisher because of the type of stone that this is. See there? It's a smooth, hard rock. Well, anyways, I know that in this body piece, I could get this piece to stand up on a base like this. I could then be able to turn it around and put it like this. And if you look, so here's an eye, nose, and a mouth, or an animal looking down, right? Here's another bird or so, right? See the beak. Should be on this side. And let me get my pointer. Okay, so I know by that there also. Okay, now I'm getting back off of the tool part and I'm getting back on the totem part. I know that that head would sit like that on top of a body. Let me get this to... Oh. Anyways, that would sit on top of the body. And now what effigy were we looking at? We're looking at, looks almost like a turtle, like a snapping turtle. Here's an eye. Here's the mouth with the beak. You know. Or that could be nostril. There's the eye. Nostril. But a lot of times these images and stuff, like that will be one image. And then that's going to be one image from here over. As you see, the mouth, the eye. So you've got to study these things. You've got to break the whole rock down, should I say. Okay, to find all the different little carvings or effigies in it, cuts that they make, right? This also, I did say, like, okay, so that still could be a body. And then another piece, like an owl, what I would call an owl piece. It'll have like a ledge, and then the stone comes down, you know. That would sit right here and lock in place. It would probably barely touch here and touch here. One of my totems, I showed that the other day, where I found one of the stone had a little ledge in it, and I said, I bet that ledge. I started looking at one of the body pieces, and there was a perfect section on it. I said, I bet you from this point to this point that's going to sit there and that's going to lock on the top. And sure enough, I set it on there, and both of them perfectly just locked in place. All right. Let's see here. So we're not really going over totems. This, which would be a totem piece, which is an effigy. Okay, we got ghost faces, right? We got ghost faces. Eye, nose. Here's an eye, nose, mouth. Here's a eye, nose. Alright. Here's two faces looking at each other. Here's a eye and an eye, a nose, right? And his mouth. And then right beside him, here's an eye, here's an eye, here's a nose, that's his nose, here's a mouth. Shadows and angles play a major part in the artwork. A major part in the artwork. Okay, here's something. An eye, a nose, and a mouth. Let me get the camera to zoom back in on whatever type of animal that is. Okay. Matter of fact, here's a human face with a bird headdress on top. Alright. Going around. Come on, camera. Alright, so I'm just showing you some of the stuff on here. I'm about to explain the tool to you. And sometimes when I show these to you on the camera, I make these videos, sometimes I find stuff that I didn't see before. You know? Okay, so on what this multi-purpose tool is. So this rock, if you notice, see this little cut out, grooved, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it's cut out and grooved, right? This side, smooth, boy, but it's kind of grooved, okay? So right here, I don't know if you could see right here, it's notched out, right? Finger falls right in there, right? It falls right in there, okay? It's down on my palm, so you've got a downward pressure, and I don't know if you can see that or not. So that would be like scraping, cutting, okay? Same way. This, if you put the tool this way now, okay, right? See that? Hold on, there you go. I don't know if y'all can really see that. I know that looks rough, but believe me, that's smooth. Okay? I meant smooth. There you go. There's a good look at it. Right? Okay, so my thumb fits perfect with the little downward pressure. Again, on this side, my finger falls in there, and it falls into my palm, so I've got that downward pressure. Now you see what I've got going on here? Now I've got a transfer. This little spot here is dug out. My finger pushing down. So now, let's see. So now, this piece is sanding or polishing. I don't know what it's doing. It's not really, it's not rough, you know, so I don't feel like it's a really abrasive, maybe a light abrasive, right? That's that way. Now, see this little groove right here? My finger's falling there. My thumbnail's falling right here. These fingers are falling in that little thing. The flat part now is falling in my palm of my hand up against it, and everywhere there's a locking point. So now this stone, now I've got a pecking part, or then you go on you know, grinding up paint, nuts, however it goes. Now that, which is polished, and if you feel this piece, your fingers lock in it. Look at that edge. Let's see. Can y'all see how flat and polished that is? So that went around something too. And it was a tool. But there's all kinds of faces. There's all kinds of effigies in this. There's a lot of ghost faces, outside images. So this one effigy, to add other pieces to it, would make a totem. Here's another so-called piece that would make a totem. There we go. Okay. Which way you want me to go with that, y'all? Can you see both? Where's my pointer at? Let's switch hands. Oh, this video ain't never going to upload. Okay, so we have an eye, a nose, a mouth. Dude's chin, right? Come on, focus in. He's wearing a headdress. Okay, then we also got another face, if I can get it in. It's a raised, or how would you say it, embossed. So we have an eye and an eye. Can y'all see that one? Might be a little hard trying to get it to come up on here. This guy, where eye, nose, mouth, chin, almost looks like he's got a snake in his mouth. That's what that's representing. I don't know if y'all could see that or not. But yet, also that cut in that stone, if you look, looks like a portrait of a bird in a way, but there's another little face right here. Alright, let's see. Okay, flip this piece over. Get some more faces out of it. Now how good this is coming up. Where's my pointer? So eye, a nose, and a mouth. Here's a. Come on, there we go. This side's not cooperating with the camera as good. How about that guy's face, y'all? Nose, mouth. Now this piece was once a totem piece. That headpiece could stand up like that. Now look at the portrait that it would be displaying in a totem. See how that is shaped? So that is a locking point right in here. Take another stone and it's going to find its spot where it locks in. So now we've got a different positioned headpiece. Okay, there, that fits on a piece. Oh, how do I want to do this? So that fits on a piece, on a body piece, right? So that's a different position of the head that's going to show different effigies. You see this guy's face here, eye, nose, mouth. Okay, then you got an eye. This is some animal from here over. Okay, let's look at this side. Oh yeah. So this piece would sit on there. And now what are we looking at from here over? Looks like a snake maybe, with the eye, the nose, and the mouth. I see a mammoth right there. Trunk, head, right? from here over. See my ghost face there? A couple. Wish I had the other pieces of this totem, but this was like a surface find or a creek find. I could find other rocks around it, right, that are kind of the same or whatever, but I won't do that because I build back original totems, right? So these single pieces are just effigies to me, just pieces that I can explain things, you know. You know, what you say out there in YouTube land with your two eyes, your nose, and your mouth? All right. Good, the ghost face is coming up here. Yeah, it's coming up good enough. Mouth, nose, right? But then we got another little guy right here. Oh, I'm gonna get y'all right here. Eye, nose, open mouth. See that? Well, look at this little creature right here. Let's let me get my pointer right. There you go. What's this little guy right here beside him? Right here. Alright. I digress. How about, let's look at him sideways. Where was that at that I just seen? We want to turn this piece. Oh, let me show you this. Look how smooth. Woo-wee. That's a tabletop, boys. Look at that. That is a tabletop. Alright, so this lonely effigy who's lost his other pairs, all the pieces in a totem are a tool in one way or another. Any of the pieces that go to that totem are a tool. Is the way these people kept their tools together. They make totems out of them. They had effigies on them. You'd get back, you know, instead of carrying the stuff, you'd stack your totems on up, and then you get up in the morning and you grab your totem up. You got all three pieces, which is your usual tools for the day, right there in one pile. And while they're not working, they're speaking a story. So, this piece here. Now, that little edge, my finger's going there. So this little flat, my finger's going there. Right there on the point. There's a little edge on this back side. There is a, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. There's a dude's mouth right here in the center. Is a place where your thumb locks, right? So you got these points and this piece is in your hand like that. Look at that tabletop, boys. Smooth as a baby's butt. So what was that piece for? That piece was for polishing something. Oh man, that's smooth, boys. Let me tell you. And girls. Gals. Let's see here. was a piece of a totem. Now it's just a tool. Okay. Found this one the other day. Down by the creek. I swear I wish I had this totem. This totem right here would be the size of this totem that I've just put together the other day. You see how it's about the same size, same weight, but you know what? I couldn't incorporate into this totem. It's an original totem. These three pieces have been together all their life, or at least when they were made. Since then, they've been together. Okay, so it wouldn't be right for me to add this to this. It wouldn't be right for me to take other rocks of same said size, weight, type of rock, cuts, and put them together. Might look pretty. I could do it, but it wouldn't be an original totem. So I'm not going to do it. Now, I'm probably going to have to turn the camera around for this one eventually to show y'all. But this here, this piece, right? You can see how it's cupped, it's grooved, right? This one's kind of nothing seams. Nothing too special. I like it though. I'll tell you why I like it. So can you see this? It's a little indention piece. It's a little ledge and all. My finger fits right in it. My thumb fits right in that. Okay. Wrap around over on this finger lays right here. Okay. So now I've got, I'm not exactly sure. I almost want to say a stamp. You know, like they hid it in their die and then they would paint stuff or whatever. I ain't for sure because what I found on it is so small. Some of the stuff we can't see with our naked eye. Right? It kind of looks, you know, looks like something, but you see that in there? Now there, you can pick out. That's a lion if I ever seen one. Okay? With, I don't know, some type of cat or alien beside it. I'm going to get my pointer out real quick. Okay. Nose. Right. So his nose come down and it kind of like on both sides. So it gives me maybe a bear or a lion. And then this beside him. Come on now. Now I've lost it. Alright, I've lost that one. Now that's the deep image, right? I haven't even looked on this side for images or anything yet, but I think I do see something there. I might have to study that a little more. There is something there. But back to this side. I'm gonna flip the camera around and see if I can get this to show up. I know before I had to use the micro setting, but that was in photos, and I don't know. I'm going to switch the camera around. We're going to look at this rock on this side because I want to point something out. Remember, I said eyesight. It's hard to pick that out. Now that side's not. That's not. At least to me, it's not. But I'm going to show you an image, or try to point out an image that I can't really see. Well, I can start to see, but I think if I go to the other side with the camera, it'll show up a lot better. So let me flip this around. Okay, let's see here. Come on now, baby. And let me I gotta find out which turn it is too. Come on, baby. There we go. Focus. Focus for me. Focus. It's not what I'm talking about, people. But you can clearly see that image and that image. Okay, here, let me do this and see if I can get my poker in here. There's my poker. Now you come back and focus. Come back and focus. Eye, nose, mouth. Okay? Now, there's a line right here. So it kind of separates that lion face, right? And it gives this one an eye, a nose, and a mouth. Alright. Let's see here. Now, I still ain't showed y'all what I'm talking about. Is this it? Let's see. Come on now, rock. Gonna make this video too damn long, and my arm's getting tired now. Let's see if I can do this. Oh man. Okay, let's see if we can pick it up in here better. I can't adjust nothing. Alright, we're going back to... Okay, let's see here. Stand up. I'm going to adjust this. Okay. See if I can back on that again. So if I spin this, okay. It's really not. If I had the micro on the micro pictures, it really comes up. And sometimes I can get it to come up on here. but right now it's being a little difficult. But there are 3 faces. 1, 2, and 3. And I have pictures of them. That they're clear as a bell. They're just like that, but for some reason I can't get them to come in right now. And it's almost like the 3 is like a speak no, hear no, or yeah, speak no, hear no, see no evil. It's kind of how the faces are. It's not going to come in. I'm going to see if I can get some. I'll see if I can get some pictures posted to where it shows those faces better. But I was really hoping they came in so that I could explain how some of this artwork, it's almost impossible to see. They had killer eyesight. Better eyesight than we got. I can tell you that for sure. 100%. So, that, folks, I guess is going to be the gist of the story. All these are pieces over here that don't have a buddy. I showed him, I think, this is the one I got out of the field, had the cow poop on it. I had to clean off. So, shadows and angles mean a lot here in this artwork. I wished I had the rest of that totem. I think I kind of went over everything. Hell, it's 43 minutes, almost 45 minutes long. Is there anything that I kind of missed? Oh, so to find a totem, I said that I would talk on it. Find the original totem. So one way is large trees, if you're in an area that has effigies and things like that, okay, along the creeks and rivers where you're finding effigies and stuff, I'm gonna tell you, step off on the bank somewhere, and if you can start finding within the dirt, if you can find effigies here and there that are surfacing, that have washed down into the creek. You know, if you catch them before they wash down into the creek, river, whatever, then you might have a chance. So when you're finding, okay, so the tree thing, I have videos at the beginning. That's where one of my first totems come from. I watched a buddy at CBA Country Boy Archaeological. That's who got me started. He's the first to figure out about the totems. So that led me on my journey. And if I get into something, I'll jump flat-footed and 10 toes in. So the tree roots, when a tree goes over, if you want to get your rocks within a foot, 2 foot, and possibly even a 3 foot radius circle. Okay, probably anywhere from 6 inches to surface, or right below surface, right under the roots of the grass, kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's in the dirt. You can't see it. But the tree trunk. So if you can start finding effigies, you want to. Okay, so one of my effigies, where the tree fell over, I had some of the totem was still in the root ball. It was still stuck within roots. I did a foot circle, and I noticed that, I might have been missing 1 or 2, and I was sitting there and it hit me. I looked up, and I've got the root ball right there. I'm like, well, if that tree was standing back up, that root ball right there, those rocks would be laying on these rocks. So I grab a few of those rocks. Okay. Now, with the fields or the banks, same aspect. Like I was saying just a second ago, I was explaining depth. And I was explaining the tree root theory, and then I jumped straight to the grass theory. My bad. Do that a lot. So now on to the grass theory or the bank theory. Say part of a bank has just started to wash away, and there's an effigy sticking out of the ground right there in the dirt, or one that's just fell right out of the dirt that's right there. Well, you want to go to where that rock just came from, or where it's partly exposed, and you want to dig around and get all the rocks that are around or with that rock. Now, you're going to be grabbing rocks that don't go with the totem. That's guaranteed. You're gonna come home with rocks that don't belong. And you'll be able to, once you get into this, you'll be able to notice what doesn't belong and what does belong. And the reason I'm saying that is a totem, it won't be a mixture of different rocks. There'll be, at least my experience, and hell, I've got 8. I got 8 totems here, so it's about 16, 19 totems or so. Where was I going with that? Oh, same rock, same cut, same style rock. Can't be mixed up. Can't have a sandstone and then a piece of granite and some azomite or whatever, and think the three are a totem. That's not how it works. It's all cut out from the same rock, and then each rock is manipulated into, the effigy or the totem or the story. I feel like there's stories. One my girl found the other day. Oh, with her first totem. See there? That was a creek bank find. So we went down to the creek, and part of the bank was washing out. It had like a little indention in it, from the water rising. And she was messing around there, looking at the rocks, and she ended up digging digging, getting those 3 rocks still out of the loose dirt, digging into the dirt, back into them, and grabbed those 3 rocks. She grabbed more rocks, but when she brought me her whole pile of rocks, those 3 rocks stood out as being, they were all the same type rock. None of the other rocks that were with it were anywhere near that type of rock. This was like a sediment of crystal and grit and sand and everything over time that had been formed together. That's the type of rock that it was. Not sandstone. Some other type of kind of rock like that. So I knew those 3 pieces went together, and when we brought them home, I started studying and playing with them, and I found the locking pieces. And each time on those videos, I listed the videos as her very first totem. It is. But, so there was a little, creek side that's been washing out. I guess the bank was probably 2-3 foot tall, and so that was the creek bottom. Now, with all the 3, like the 4 stepped up in size totems, these 3 rocks are about the same size, same weight, same rock. Same rock. Okay. That's a totem. Then the next 3 sizes, they're about proportionate with each other. They're all the same. Okay, let me say this. These rocks and these rocks are the same type of rocks also. These rocks, which are smaller than these rocks, are the same type of rocks. Okay? These 3 smaller rocks are all the same type rock. Okay? Cut a little different. That's the small totem. Just feel how light those are. Heck, a Bic lighter's bigger than that when that's set up. These 3 came out of it the day before. And then I went back up there. I took my lady up there and showed her, we were walking around feeding all the animals around here. And I was telling her, this is a spot where I got those 3 rocks, that became this totem. So while standing there, I decided to dig a little deeper, move some of the grass, dig down in the dirt. I think I got maybe 3 inches into the dirt and probably 1.5 foot, 2 foot circle. Those 3 big ones already come out the day before. Okay, I was just up there bullshitting, and I started pulling out these little pieces, and I started seeing the effigies on them. And I'm like, well, let me get all the rocks in that 2 foot circle and take them home and see what the deal is. Excuse me. And each one of these sets of 3s have made their own totem, along with the big one. The big one kind of freaked me out. It spooked me a little bit. I'm gonna explain something to y'all if y'all go back and watch the video with this totem in it. Oh, now that I got this pointer. Okay. This piece freaked me out. And the reason it freaked me out is if you look. Okay, remember, I said you got to break a rock up to find stuff and see stuff. That's an animal from here over. Nose, its eye, right? Its mouth. Okay. Now, from here over, we've got what I say is like an evil face, almost the devil. But here's an eye. Here's its nose. Here's its mouth. Okay? It's laid on this human's head. It's kind of covering this eye here, right? But if you turn it, you'll see this eye. Let's see the way the camera is. If you see the video or watch the video, you'll see it. So here's an eye, and then he's kind of got this eye covered over, right? Dude's nose and his mouth. Okay, let's see how the other day I had it. It's almost like he's speaking something over to this human. Alright, look at this rock. And I didn't notice this. There's a bird. There's some type of animal. Here's a bird in flight. See that? The wing, the body, the bird head. That's in a hole. Then you can take it there. How about this ghost face? Here's an eye, here's an eye, here's a nose, here's a mouth. Alright. And you took that piece that way. There's a snake, right? From here over. There's an eye, mouth, it's open. Okay, where was I with this piece just now? That guy. Okay. So what really freaked me out in the video is we're looking at it. We see that guy he's kind of speaking to. And then, let's see if I can find it for y'all. Okay. Okay, now the devil or the devil looking guy right here, right? When you pan in the camera, the way that I pan down this, and you see this devil face, you see this human face that it's laid upon, and then when you get to the front of this stone right here in the video, it shows, let's see, where is he at? It shows, I'm seeing more stuff on it now. It shows this guy, his arms right here. Okay? Right here. And it comes across, and his hand, here's a finger, here's a finger, here's a finger, here's a, and in the video you can really see it, there's a thumb with the claw mark. I'm just not holding it at the right angle for y'all at the moment. And he's got his hand, his claws, in this dude's head. It's like he's ripping the top of his head off. And he's got wide open eyes, a nose, and an open mouth. In the other video, it's freaky. It's just clear as a bell. And it spooked me when I first noticed it. It was kind of crazy. There is a lot on this rock though. And then, okay. This was a body piece. Sat on the base. The head locked in there. Matter of fact, this is the piece I'm talking about when I said, see this ledge? The other piece was standing up. I said there was a top point and then there was a little ledge on it. And I said, you know what? I wonder if this to this space, this distance, is the same as the distance on that locking piece. The top of this, and there's a ledge right here. See that ledge? So I'm studying my pieces, the locking points, studying my pieces, and I said, that looks like, that's the same distance, same length. I said, I bet this locks on the top of that piece, and this right here, I bet sits right on that ledge. And lo and behold, a match made in heaven. So that turned this piece, this totem piece, into a bird perched up on that. If you look at it as a whole. But then, if you look deeper and start breaking it down, you find other things like this animal right here. Eye, nose, mouth. Right? How about here? Eye, nose, mouth. Depending on how I turn it. Here we go. Nose, mouth. How about this little animal right here? See that one? Eye, nose, mouth. Let's see what else we can pick up off of here. Oh. Did y'all see it? Dude, this is over an hour. It's going to take me 5 days. It's going to take me 5 days. Eye, nose, other eye, mouth. Take me 5 days to download this. That one. Oh man. That almost looks like... Oh, so I hadn't seen something else kind of freaky to me. Let me flip this over real quick. Okay, that's like that. Okay, I'm gonna flip this over to see. Is that? Okay, this is dude's hand. Oh yes. Wow. Okay, so I flipped it over, right? Now dude's hand. How was I just looking at that? Finger, finger, finger. Eye, nose, mouth. It's almost like that hand now got that dude like this pulling down. Crazy piece. This is a crazy piece. Look at that. Look how it fits in my hand. There's these guys again. Mouth, nose, eye. Home dude's mouth, nose, and eye is laid on this dude's face. Well, let's see if I can find a little ghost devil guy for you. Right here. Eye, nose, mouth, But check this little horn out. This little horn out. Don't it look like he's got two little horns? Alright, I gotta get off here, y'all. Hour and 5 minutes is the longest video I've ever made. I don't really think there's anything that I missed to explain for y'all to be able to find totems. Please don't just put any stones together. I mean, this is something that's new, something that they've tried to hide from us, bury. We're still, in my eyesight, I don't feel like 100%. Everybody, we're not all on the same page. I don't think none of us know what the page is. Really, I don't. Even with these books, they can say we got out here and all that good jazz. They've lied to us for so long. I don't even know if I believe those publications. Here's my theory. I'm still stuck on it hard as can be. Is I believe that all this is pre-flood. The reason I'm saying that is the amount of artwork, the intensity, the sheer ability to be able to do some of this. To do some of this so small that we can't see with the naked eye. But, man, if that would just come in. I got it right. I do believe. It looks like there's 3 right there. 1, 2, 3. Just they're not with the naked eye. Popping in. When you see them pictures that I've gotten of it in definition, you'll be like, wow. Stuff that small. These ghost faces and some of this stuff. It's just crazy. Anyways, so reason I'm saying I believe that they're pre-flood is because we're just now finding out about them. Someone got mad here on YouTube one time with me, wanted to argue a lot. Some Native American in Canada, and he told me that the reason that he didn't believe in anything that I was saying. I was, a colonist and all kinds of craziness. But his theory was that the white man knocked and buried everything over and hid it. Okay? The places that man hardly steps foot in, there's still places that man hasn't actually probably stepped foot in God knows how long. Hidden hollers. Come on up where I live. Hidden hollers, caves, we can go on and on, right? I could take you to places that I guarantee you wouldn't to be able to tell me the last time a man stepped foot in there. Or even if a man was able to climb to get up into these spots. So with that said, there should have been some type of totem or partial totems still standing or still put together. These little totems, they should be in a cave somewhere, still standing. but they're not. Not one single one is still standing. They're buried. What did we do as a white race? Walk around every day with sacks of fucking dirt and spread it on the ground? It just don't make no sense to me. Man didn't cover this shit up. Now, woodland period Indians, I might agree with you, you know, when we first got here. But this stuff here is, man ain't even recorded. Man ain't even gone back this far to record it. The people that come across the Bering Strait, so they say one of the first, are either from out of Canada, the Great Lakes up above that area. They say they were one of the first, you know, back and forth. We got mammoth bones around here. Hey, Jamie, why'd you do that? I made myself have a brain fart. I think it's pre-flood, and I don't see no way of me changing my mind on that at all. Because I've climbed mountains around here. I've been in hollers around here that you got to go 30 hollers deep to get to. It'd take you days to walk into the woods and over the ridges and scale down the other sides to get to these places. That there still should be a totem somewhere standing, even if it's a small one, and they're not. Keep that in mind. Where am I at? I guess I kind of explained getting into the banks of the creek or in a field or yard, you know, stick with, if you find an effigy you like that's buried, do a 2 foot, 3 foot circle and take every single one of them rocks you get out of that hole home with you. Not every rock is going to make a totem. You might leave some of the pieces, you know, some pieces of totem back there. But you know where you got those rocks from. You didn't get it from here and then walk 20 yards over here and pick that rock up and walk 5 yards over here and find the rock over here. You didn't do it like that. You dug and got everything that let's say during a flood, that fell over and got covered by mud. They're all going to be right there. Okay? Just my theory. I've opened up my community page, by the way, for anybody that has any questions, want to ask me any questions. I'll answer anything you got. Let's be nice, you know. We all can agree to disagree. And if you can't agree to disagree, then your life sucks. You must be right all the time. Alright. I think I'm going to go for now. Really wished I had the rest of these to this totem. I showed you. Look at that. There's another baby's butt. This was a tool. I mean, all kinds of effigies and animals, but see how this right here is? My hand fits right in there. Right? You see on this side, there's this little thumb fits right there. Holds that piece like that. Guess what? See that? Thumb fits there. Wraps nicely around. See this right here? My fingers. Look. Boop. You see that? Look. Oh, boop. The fingers fall right into that. So that was polished or whatever. And you can tell that that's what they were doing with it, because see how the edges are rounded? Smooth rounded. Okay, so that piece was also, there you go. There you go. Debarking trees. You know, scraper. Hammer. Smaller pecking point. This would have been a good, nice totem too. Eye, nose, mouth. You see the whole portrait? It looks like a bird headdress. Eye, nose, mouth. Eye, nose, mouth. That's an animal, not a human face. A human face. It's another human face. That reminded me of an owl right there, but eye, nose, mouth. There's a lot of ghost face on this one. Okay, eye, nose, mouth. I already talked about that one. That's another thing you'll find out about me. If I ain't talking, I like to whistle. Sorry. Remember, I said same type rock, same style rock, same type makeup rock. Totem. Let's see. Same type style rock. Piece of chicken grease. I'm out.